Hi, my name is Charlotte. I come from a small town in Germany, and when we grew up, my mother was mostly taking care of me and my siblings. My father was working a lot, but every time he came home, we had fun together. We went together on vacation and we had a great time. When I was around the age of 12, I've noticed that his behavior was changing. I've noticed my parents fighting a lot. I've noticed him looking very sad, sometimes just crying seemingly out of nowhere. And it took another 3 years until I've realized why his behavior was like that. I struggled with eating throughout my childhood, but things came to a head when I reached my teenage years. At the age of 15, I was severely anorexic, and one day, after I had a fight with my parents, I was lying in my bed. My mother was sitting next to me, crying, and telling me that she had an abortion. Initially, I didn't really know what to do with that kind of information, as I was very much busy trying to recover myself. But it did influence me, because the way I actually overcame my eating disorder was by imagining having a baby. I thought that if I were pregnant, I would eat in order to keep someone else alive. I would not have to eat for myself, but for someone else. And this kind of thought helped me actually to start eating again. I've also noticed over the years that it made sense why my father behaved in a way I couldn't explain earlier. So him seeming very depressed, very nervous, anxious, very emotional. I realized that was during the time when my mother had the abortion, the constant fighting as well. And later she told me that he wanted to keep the child. And so they were fighting about that. My mother wanted to have the abortion and my father wanted the child. And then after the abortion, he was grieving because he had lost his child. After talking to my mom again, I found out that my parents were not planning to have more children. They were using contraception, and the pregnancy was an unplanned pregnancy. My mother was very much set on this. She didn't want to have more children, whereas my father was open to God working in his life in that way. And so looking back at their behavior, it suddenly started to make sense why my father was acting in the kind of way he was. During the same conversation, my mom also told me that her mother, my grandmother, has had an abortion. It got me thinking that there must be some generational connection, that my mom has seen abortion being chosen in her family, and therefore she had chosen it herself. It also got me thinking of what that means about me and my life. I felt very insecure, very much like I've got to work hard, I've got to do a lot, I have to achieve as much as possible in order to make my life worth it. Because my sibling, who was conceived within marriage, who was just like me, who was from the same parents, did not make it. And I was thinking that this means that I have to do as much as I can and more in order to make my life worth it, in order to give my life some value. Because I thought it alone doesn't have it. This is the message I got when I grew up. The abortion and the consequences it had on my family have impacted me for many years, and to a certain extent still impact me now. The healing took a long time, and I think in some kind of way I am still on that healing journey. But part of it was finding back to God, finding my faith. It gave me a lot of strength, and it really assured me that I am loved, I am unconditionally loved, and I do not need to achieve certain kinds of things. Part of this journey for me was also to go to a talk. There was a priest coming to our university as a guest speaker, and he did mention Rachel's Vineyard. A few months later, I went to the Spock Youth Conference, where I actually met the Rachel, who's leading Rachel's Vineyard in Birmingham, and she told me more about it. I started having a connection with her, and later on the same year, I went on a Rachel's Vineyard retreat. There, I actually found a lot of healing. It let me understand many of the structural issues of abortion and why women have abortion. Hearing the stories of the other people there, hearing the stories of women who have had abortions, made me realize that they are often very, very similar to my own story. I've realized that this might be a broader issue within families. It is often linked to a lot of trauma, and there is a lot of grief. And I'm very thankful that I was able to go to deal with these certain kinds of emotions. I wish that my father had an opportunity like that as well, and that there would be someone to help those affected like him. I also wish that my mother and my grandmother could go to a Rachel's Vineyard retreat to get the healing they deserve. It is very difficult for us to talk in the family about abortion and the impact it has had on us. In the same way, it also is in the society. We tend to hide things away, and therefore it was very difficult for me to even have the conversations I had with my mother. And to every mom who already has a child and is considering having an abortion, I wish that you know that the abortion doesn't only affect you. It doesn't just have an impact on you and your partner. It also affects your children. I have grieved. I have suffered. I felt unworthy throughout so many years of my life. My mother's abortion has affected not just me, but also my siblings. We have all suffered from this. And I wish that you know the greatest gift that you can give your child is another brother or another sister. In fact, the greatest gift that you can give is the gift of life.